Thank you for tuning in to Grow by Joe. In this video, I'm going to talk about mezzanine debt. It can be an intriguing financing option for growth and a good option. In this video, I'm going to share some of the positives and negatives we're working with a mezzanine lender and some of the questions that you really should ask going into or considering this type of option for your business. So mezzanine debt typically sits between a bank and a equity financing. Usually when someone's looking for mezzanine financing is they have a senior lender in place, usually a bank lender or some other type of senior lender like an ABL or an asset-based lender. And that lender has first position lien and priority. And usually the business needs additional capital. It doesn't make sense to refinance the current senior debt. And that's either because of a time constraint, they don't have the time to work on that. Moving to another bank and refinancing it just doesn't make sense. What you have to really understand what mezzanine financing is really just you have to understand the structure. They're all very different. There's a lot of different mezzanine lenders that do different things, that focus on different industries, that have different terms, different rates. Most mezzanine lenders, their terms will be anywhere from 1 to 2 years to 3 to 5 years as far as a repayment term. Typically, the interest rates will be in mid to upper teen. And then usually there can be warrants or equity kickers or gross sales kickers. You really need to understand the terms. And I really recommend bringing an attorney in if you're going to work on a mezzanine deal so you understand what is the interest rate, are there warrants, are there equity kickers, is there equity coming along with this? And then more importantly, the covenants. Covenants are basically the rules of borrowing this money. Meaning, hey, maybe you have to keep a certain amount of money in the business. Maybe if you're distributing X amount of dollars, X amount of that has to go to pay down your mezzanine debt deal. If you don't hit certain profitability levels, you may have to pay the financing back, or you may have to give up more equity. So these deals can be structured in a number of ways, and it's important that you understand those structures. The benefits of mezzanine debt can be that, hey, like sometimes they're great products. Sometimes with a mezzanine debt lender, a lot of the mezzanine debt lenders are very entrepreneurial. They really get deals. They really get business. I've seen a lot of business owners use mezz debt in order to acquire businesses, expand a business, do a partner buyout. And it's a great way to keep your senior lender in place, especially if you have an awesome senior lender. Like if you're with a big bank or an awesome regional bank or a local bank, you've got a great deal. You're like, I don't want to touch that, and I can't refinance that. They won't, give me additional capital. Then a mezz debt lender may be a perfect piece where you can pull in some junior capital. And some of the mezz debt deals, you may be able to structure them where you don't have to give up equity, so you don't have to sell equity in your business. But you just want to understand that if you do have to do that, to make sure that you're comfortable with it, because once you give up equity, you've given it up, and that can cost you a lot more money in the long term. So if you're giving up equity, what is that going to cost you per year? And just kind of run that simple math out over the next 5 and 10 years. It may wind up being more expensive than some of the other alternatives out there. And just to add to the current risk, is you want to make sure when you work with a mezz lender, again, that you know the terms or the covenants of the deal. Because when you work with a mezz lender, you could add a lot of increased leverage into the business and put a lot of pressure on the business. And depending on those rules, the mezz lender may be entitled to equity or additional control in the business. So you want to really be careful there and understand that and know what you're getting yourself into so that you're not in a situation where the lender now has a lot of control in the business and a lot of leverage over the business that puts you in not a good position. Another really interesting and important fact is really up until recently, mezz debt was like the only junior capital really available out in the market where a lender could come in for 7 or 8 figures of capital. And if you were a business that has a senior lender and you needed some additional debt but you didn't want to give up equity, a mezz debt lender was really like the only option. There's some really great options on the market today where you can borrow sub-debt. So they're like mezz debt alternatives. There's a sub-debt product that we've actually recently put out on the market where we don't take any equity, there's no covenants, it's non-dilutive. Terms are 12 to 24 months, sometimes even a little bit longer, and we can go up to sometimes $10 million in a subordinated position or a junior position. So there's like this new in-between product that's available today that's not mezz debt, It's not a senior lender, but junior capital that don't come along with all those covenants, equity kickers and different things. Maybe you're acquiring a business and you have a senior lender and you're short $1 million or $5 million and you need a little bit extra and you don't want to pull a mezz lender in and give up more equity, or maybe you don't like the favorable terms, or maybe all the covenants that come along with it. And that sub-debt product that we put out in the market is a really great alternative. No covenants, no equity, and speed. Can move really fast, answers in 3 to 5 business days. Mezz that are typically like a 90-day type of process. So if you've got an opportunity, you need to move fast, there are these other alternatives that are out there today. And one of those products we actually put out into the market recently, and it's been picking up a lot of steam. So if you'd like to learn more about that, check out the link below, get connected with my team, and we can talk through it more. If you're contemplating these options, if you've got mezz options on the table, check out that link below. Connect with me and my team. We're happy to look through those options and compare what we may be able to get you and see if it makes sense. It's always good to know your options, but most importantly, always make sure that you know the terms of the deal that you're getting you and your business into. I hope you found this growth video helpful. Please subscribe, click that button below, drop a comment. Thank you for watching. Appreciate everything you do as an entrepreneur. Keep growing.